When we are given an equation and we want to find the average rate of change on a specific interval, we're just going to solve for the y value since they give us the x. Remember, f of x is a fancy way just to say y equals. So they tell us our x equals -8, and we need to figure out what our y is, and they give us -1, and we have to figure out what our y is. So the first thing I'm going to do is, just like from interval notation, I am replacing my x with -8, and I am putting it in parentheses every time. And then now I'm just going to solve. -8 squared is a positive 64. 3 times -8 is a -24 minus 4. 64 minus 24 is 40. 40 minus 4 is 36. So when x equals -8, my y is 36. I'm going to do the same thing with -1. Put -1 in everywhere I see an x in the problem. -1 squared is a positive 1. 3 times -1 is -3 minus 4. 1 minus 3 is -2. Minus 4 is -6. So when x was -1, my y was -6. Now, I'm just going to do like I did with the tables. How do I get from -8 to -1 on a number line? Add 7. And to get from 36 to -6, I subtract 42. So now my change in y was subtract 42. My change in x was to add 7. So -42 divided by 7 is -6. So my average rate of change was -6 on this interval. We're going to do the same thing in the next one. They give us the interval of 1 to 5, and they give us this function up top here. So I know I want when my x is 1, what my y is. When my x is 5, what my y is. So I'm going to replace my x's with 1. And I'm going to solve. This negative is not inside the parentheses, so first I'm just going to do 1 squared, and I get 1, and then that negative follows along. Plus 3 times 1 is 3, plus 10. -1 plus 3 is 2, plus 10 is 12. So when x was 1, my y is 12. I'm going to do the same thing with 5. 5 squared is 25. That negative follows along since it wasn't in the parentheses. Plus 15 plus 10. -25 plus 15 is -10. Plus 10 is 0. So when my x is 5, my y is 0. We're going to do the same thing. How do you get from 1 to 5 on a number line? Add 4. 12 to 0. Subtract 12. So change in y over change in x is -12 over 4. -12 over 4 is -3. So my average rate of change on the interval 1 to 5 was -3.